What up, fam? What up, YouTube fam? This your boy Church. We're about to do another take, and this one is in regards to Danny at the Stop. Danny at the Stop now has a podcast with Shammy. I like to call him ShamWow. Um, with all due respect, this is my first take. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Danny at the Stop. I don't agree with everything he says or everything that he does. However, I do value the work ethic and the dedication he has to the craft. I respect it and I value it. And you got to give respect when you got to give credit when credit is due. You know what I mean? Next take. Shammy trying to sun Danny in the beginning of the pod was nasty work. Now, I've listened to the whole pod and um you're going to I mean, it's going to sound like I'm hating on Shammy, but I'm really not. I'm just actually just giving my honest take. I mean, at some point Danny will get fed up, but listen, uh, I'm not going to make that a statement, but I'm going to say at some point will Danny get fed up with Shammy? Is he a pawn in Danny's plan, or I mean, we'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen in regards to this whole Shammy and Danny and Shammy plan. We're gonna have to just see what happens. I think at some point Danny is going to get fed up. He's going to see, and he's going to recognize what everybody else has recognized in regards to Shammy, but that's neither here or there, and it is what it is. Next take. I know Shammy is old, but if he's going to be on a pod with Danny from the stop, he should know the complex list. He shouldn't be getting updated by the writer of the show. I mean, that in itself is just like, come on, guy, do your job. You know what I mean? Like, be more aware. Next take. When Shammy said that Joe and Ian are good people and Danny said sure. So Shammy goes, Joe and Ian, they're good people. And Danny goes, yeah, sure. I knew all I needed to know on how Danny is going to run this play with Shammy. I mean, at the end of the day, content is king and content rules. So again, I respect it. I'm not mad at it, but trust me, I think I know how this is going to play. Now, at some point, Danny, and I got to get on Danny real quick. He said Bobby wasn't the guy in New Edition. Stop it, Five. Bobby was most definitely the man in New Edition. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Next take. Who? Oh, well, yeah. This is kind of crazy. Let me. I need a little time to get into this one because this guy Shammy said, "Who's the white one?" when referring to Maureen. Excuse me. When referring to Rory and Maul. Um, Come on, ShamWow. You got to do better than that. You got to be a tad. You got to be a bit more prepared than this. I mean, how do you want to make an apology to a man that you don't know his name? And why would you even disrespect someone whose name you don't know? Listen, I'm calling Cap, and the whole playing dumb thing with Shammy is kind of whack sauce. You got to give your fellow content creators the respect they deserve, especially if you're going to use their name for growing content you're featured on. Next take. Most people know Sham was on Howard Stern. Him continuing on mentioning it on every camera he gets in front of is a bit cringeworthy every single time I hear it. I've been not following Sham, but I've just been in tune on YouTube for multiple years now, and I kind of know what's happening, and it's just cringeworthy every single time I hear it. We all know that you were dealing with Howard Stern and Shem. It's over. You're not on Howard Stern anymore. We all know that where you came from. I'm sorry, but gotta say it. It is what it is. Next take. Danny from the stop having Sham do the Blue Chew ad was crazy. Listen, Danny even had to clean it up after Shampoo's BS attempt. My boy said yada, yada, yada during the ad. I mean, it doesn't get more. Listen, man. Next take, man. Next take. Um, Joe never said Danny. Listen, guys, listen. Joe never said Cardi was the wax stripper. He said she wasn't as popping as the other strippers at the moment. It's nasty work, but again, I got nothing but respect for the content. I'm here for it. Next take. What is Shammy chewing? Get him out of here, man. Listen, like, what are you chewing on a mic right now? Like, do you have gum in your mouth while you're doing like, yo, fam, you have no respect for anything. I mean, just because you're old doesn't mean you get to disrespect the rules. And not even the rules, but it's just certain things. It's like when you walk into a house, you say hello, or when you walk into a common area, you say hi. When if you're in a home and somebody offers you food, I mean, if you're in a comfortable area, you eat the food. Follow the rules, Sham. You're bugging. Get them out of here. Um, Next take. Rory having the same energy as Kendrick, which is what Sham Wow said. I mean, listen, that's coon work. I'm just gonna be honest with you. That's just my honest opinion. I think it's coon work, and it is what it is. However, just to not, fully shun on ShamWow, I mean, I do like his take on Bronny. I couldn't agree more. We need more nepotism in our community. Anybody who's hating on Bronny going to the league simply because LeBron James is LeBron James and got him in the league, anybody who's hating on that is simply a hater. I think we need more nepotism in our community. I commend LeBron for taking the stance and saying, "Hey, listen, this is what we're doing, and this is how we're doing it," and I am mad at it, none whatsoever. Next, and I agree with ShamWow on the take. I like his take on it. Next take. This guy being surprised that Danny from the stop, knowing who JD Vance is extremely cringeworthy. It's like he expects everybody to operate on the same level that he's operating in. Like, this is how I know this dude lives under a rock. The fact that he was surprised that Danny knew who the running vice president is going to be for Trump. He was surprised that Danny knew that. I mean, why would you be surprised? I mean, it's all over the place. Like, I don't know. Next take, man. Next take. What I will say is that honesty, and this is what I do value from Sham, honesty in creating content is key. I mean, it brings a value that is untouched, and you can't really do anything about it when you're being honest. Honesty is key. Content is not king. Honesty is king. You got to be honest with your content. Next take. I like the fact that Danny is not going away from politics. I mean, he's touching politics. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be consistent. Only time will tell. But Shammy, he likes politics. I mean, I'm not going to lie. He can give great takes on politics. And at the end of the day, I'm rooting for them to do the best that they possibly can. It's just my take. I want to see these guys do well. I want to see Danny do well. I want to see Shammy. I want to see everybody do well, at the end of the day. Next take. And this is a political take. I'm not sure if this has to happen, but I think a debate has to happen. I mean, doesn't a debate have to happen? It's just a question. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not a politician or anything of that nature, but at some point, I would think a debate from the two primary candidates from both sides would have to happen. Again, I could be wrong. Next take. This guy just said, Shammy, I'm talking about. This guy just said eggs are $3.29 for 18 eggs. Where? Where? Where do you live, Sham? He said earlier things can be fact checked. You're damn right. At my local supermarket, and I live in Manhattan, the cheapest eggs are like $5.99. The brown eggs that I get are $6.99, and that's for 12. Next take. I like the fact that Danny is standing on his square and continues to address Queen's Flip. Queen's Flip is my dude. I've been following Flip for a minute, but I like the fact that Danny is standing on his square. Shammy saying that they were not close friends is kind of diabolical. I mean, Shammy was Flip's hornblower for a few. I was watching live when him and Lansky got into it many, many years ago. I mean, maybe they weren't close friends, Shammy and Flip, so I can admit to, possibly being wrong on that. Nonetheless, what I can say is just because you're a professional and you're on time doesn't mean Flip can't have an issue with you while you're on the mic. I mean, I've literally watched this dude suck a mic off on Sham and Sexy Stacy's show. I forget the name of the show, but this guy slobbed the knob of a mic on camera. I mean, it is what it is. Next take. Mental health is a real thing. Most people need to cure themselves, and most people don't have the wherewithal to cure themselves. So, you know, we'll just leave that where it's at. And I wish everybody who is dealing with the mental health issue, either they go out and seek help or they figure it out within themselves to heal themselves because it can be done. Next take. Shammy losing his train of thought and not being able to complete a statement is kind of wild. You'll see, listen, all of my takes are takes to kind of get you to actually watch it and see what I'm talking about. You just got to see what I'm talking about so that you know what I'm talking about. Next take. Having a tumor, and this is all sham. This is all, we're still on Shammy. Having a tumor removed from your rectum as a prelim as to why Flip ain't messing with you anymore is diabolical. It's too funny for me. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Anyway, next take. He said something earlier about somebody else being bitter, and honestly, I clearly think Shammy is just projecting. I think Sham is extremely bitter. He didn't think that it was going to go the way that it went with Flip, and he's extremely bitter. He got brought up on the JBP podcast, on the extra show that Flip and Joe were doing in the beginning, Improper Improv, and he thought he had an outlet, or he thought he had a layup, and then it didn't work out the way that he thought it was going to work out, and now he is bitter. He said something about somebody else being bitter, and again, I can't repeat it. Well, I can repeat it. I'm just going to repeat it one more time. I clearly think Shammy is just projecting. Next take. This is the 23rd take, by the way. Money talks and BS walks. Don't let that go over your head. If you got the money, you can get stuff done. If you ain't got no money, keep it pushing. Next take. Shammy. Listen, this guy keeps talking about a third eye. Now, I'll be honest, I think either Sham's third eye has either aged out or he never had one. I think he's bitter because Flip ain't messing with him no more. And if he had a third eye, then he would have been able to see that from jump. If he has a third eye, he should be able to see that. I'm not going to put that out there, but he should be able to see the writing on the wall in his current situation. He's wilding. Next take. Take the gum out of your mouth, my guy. Have some respect for your listeners. Have some respect for your future endeavors. Nobody's going to want to get you on a podcast if you're over there on this particular podcast and you got gum in your mouth and you're not respecting the craft. I mean, yeah, you're a G in the space, and yeah, you've been doing it for a long time, and yeah, you show up on time, but that doesn't make it okay for you to be sitting there chewing gum on the podcast. I'm surprised Danny even let that go down. Now, here's my next take. I like the fact that Danny is doing this, and I'm here to give my takes from day one. I mean, this is your guys' first episode, and believe you me, every single episode, I'll be here giving my takes. Next take. Listen, guys, don't mind the black screen. Just listen to the voice for now. I'm extremely new to this video edit stuff, and I'll be learning and perfecting as I go. Anyone who's rocking with me from now, I appreciate y'all. It's only going to get better, and it's only going to get more fruitful and more abundant. And again, I appreciate you guys. I'm just going to continue to keep on doing what I'm doing. Now, here's my next and my last take in regards to uh, Danny's podcast, first episode. Quote of the day. If you worry about rubbing people the wrong way every time you open your mouth, your feelings get erased before you can even share them. That was a quote stated by Ian Schwartzman. Let it sit where it may. All that being said, guys, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Let me give a special shout out to my sponsor, Manhattan Gray. If you have gray hair, embrace it with Manhattan Gray. You can soothe, hydrate, and add shine to your hair or beard using the moisture pomade, which promotes hair growth and a healthy shine. The hydration oil hydrates and moisturizes all different types of hair textures. Join and support a black owned business that'll give you a new perspective and confidence to embrace your gray hair and style. The link is in the description. Go support if you have gray hair, and even if you don't, I'm sure you know someone who does. Manhattan Gray. So like the borough Manhattan and then the color gray.com. The link, I mean, if you go to the website, I'll have the link, but it'll get you 20% off. I'm trying to see if I can get a little bit more off of your first order. But for now, the link, or if you go to the website, it'll get you about 20% off on your first order. And most importantly, I need you to let them know who put you on to the Manhattan Gray. I mean, when you choose greatness and you go and check out the website, I'm absolutely sure that you will be very impressed. And listen, man, that's it. That's all for now. I appreciate you guys for watching if you're still here. And again, remember, the best takes is the church's takes. We out.